Hello, welcome to game 3 against DVD. So here we have some draw in the wharf, right? We have some actions in the town. Oh, we have some draw in the Magpie Masquerade. Actions in town, you get plus buy from the wharf as well. You have courtier as well for the plus buy. So seems like we can do many things here. Double province, maybe on the cards. There's also some extra points in farmers markets, but I don't really know how that is happening. I think the game will just be too slow. I'm too fast, sorry, for the farmers markets. The farmers market will be too slow. Because magpies will empty. We will empty the towns because who doesn't love playing wolves? So then two piles are down. For the buys from wolves, you never know what could happen. So the opening. How do you open here? There are some choices, right? The three seems obvious. Masquerade, draws, trashes. Great card to open with. The 4 is less obvious on what to do here. In addition, it's the Bane, in case anybody had any young witch ideas. So DVD goes for a town on the 4. Wow, that's bad quality. Yeah. They go for a town on the 4. The town can function as a village or as a silver. So in some scenarios, it is like opening Masquerade Silver. They will get the Masquerade on 3. I do not get the town. I thought about Engineer and Magpie before I thought about Town. In the end, I go for. I really like the Engineer here. It could gain lots of towns, and towns are a critical pile, considering it is the only source of plus action in the kingdom. So that is very heavily in my mind, and I do go for it. I do go for. There is some chance of collision, but I go for the Engineer anyway because I think it's just way too important. Magpie is safer, but I skipped on the Magpie. This is a ridiculous draw. Um, you play Masquerade, get to 5, and do not draw the Engineer dead. Yeah, that's a easy wolf. Easy wolf. Very easy wolf. You see, DVD doesn't have that kind of fortune though. But getting the Masquerade early is still helpful, even if there's no wolf. So now they get an engineer of their own. So they have town, engineer, mask, right? I will get a town here, definitely, because I have so many terminals in the deck. And magpie. I can't really delay that magpie any longer. I felt I would have liked two towns there because then I had what town, wharf, mask. That seems like a fairly safe shuffle to trigger. And I will buy back an engineer here as well. So it'll be 3 terminals for the 2 villages. But the magpies I think are very important. There is some potential to gain gold via bandit or courtier. Magpie in the early game can help draw some copper sometimes. I think it's too good a card to ignore at this point. 2, that could have been another engineer, probably should have been another engineer. Instead it was Raise. Not entirely convinced by my draw there. And the town, in addition to being a silver, gives you a plus buy. So DVD is able to pick up a wharf and a second engineer. I get worried when I see that because that town pile can disappear. I don't have an engineer anymore, right? Reyes finds me my town, which I'm happy about. Will not trash here. Will just take the 5, get the second wharf. And at this point, I'm satisfied with 2 wharfs for now. I would like to focus on the towns a bit more at this point. All right, so mass comes out for DVD. Importantly, an engineer comes out. Engineer equals 2 towns. That was a bit scary. And I get to 4 here. I don't think I have time for engineer. But I get one anyway. Maybe I do. So town and engineer for me there. Here comes the second engineer for DVD. And they replace that with another after gaining 2 towns. So it's looking kind of bleak on the town split, to be honest, because I'm in debt here. The best thing for me would be to find my engineer to gain 2 towns. Luckily, I do. I could have kept that estate actually and then trashed it with the raise to go deeper into the deck, but I decided not to ask for an undo there. Instead, I just trashed the raise to go deeper into the deck. gain the town. Two, I don't really see much point in the engineer now that the towns are at one. So it will just be a raise. There is, some filtering mostly at this point. The estates are gone. And Mask can do the rest of the trashing. Alright, so there's the third engineer for DVD. Goes for a town and gets a Magpie as well. So they made great use of their engineers. They gained what, 5 towns from it and a Magpie. So that does leave the split in their favor. So they have 6 towns, I have 4. Maybe that Magpie early for me was greedy, but I wanted it. Anyways, we see now how we want to make use of our 4 towns, right? We cannot play long because we only have the 4 towns. We have to play short, so we have to build up to something like double province reasonably quickly, and then go after the provinces. Now, not playing the wharf here. I want to have 1 in play every turn, so I don't want to have 2 now and none next turn. I rather have 1 and 1. 5 is going to be a courtier for me here. We do have a triple type in the swamp hag, but for now the wharf will have to do. I will get a swamp hag at some point to get three options of the courtier. All right, so second wharf, finally, not finally, but second wharf after a long time for the DVD. So they went in hard after the towns. They won the split, so they accomplished what they wanted to accomplish, but that came at the expense of only having 1 wharf in the deck up until now for the last 8 turns. I had the 2 because I drew well, so I took the 2, right? All right, so let's see if we could find the other wharf. This was stupid. See that? Town straight into wharf. Did you not just buy a courtier? Now the courtier has no options, no dual type in the deck at all. So I felt dumb after doing that. Masquerade continues to trash. Courtier, I'll die. I only could take the gold. I would have been able to go and take coins and gold if I wasn't so hasty. But price you pay for not being smart sometimes. 2 magpies on top of the deck there. We leave it, even though it makes the masquerade pass a little bit scary. 9 and enough buys. There's gonna be a swamp hag. See, if I had the extra money from the courtier, that would have been a second courtier. I said I wasn't getting more engineers, but I lied. I got another one to help with some pile out potential here. The magpies will soon finish. 2 piles will be empty. The engineers themselves are low raises. Maybe estates, maybe with the double gain from the engineer. Maybe. Wolf and Masquerade for DVD. Alright, so here we are actually able to see the courtier with a triple type. Coins buy and gold is the mode here. I don't need the buy, but I would like to have the buy because my terminals are going to be or my towns rather will not be used for buys from this point on. So I would like maybe the extra buy. Masquerade gives me a Magpie. Love to know what their hand is. They're handing me Magpie. I fish for the gold. I get the gold that I gained off the courtier. And I leave 1 Magpie on top of the deck. No, I lie. I wanted to leave 1 Magpie on top of the deck, but I ended up drawing everything anyway. Bad organization. I look for a pile out here. I don't see one. The closest thing is of the masquerades. I think I could double gain masquerade and then buy the rest of them. I may have just enough money for that, but I'm a point behind, so that isn't going to work. I can't empty the races or the estates either, so I have to get some points. Engineer will be used in this case for a silver. So I can draw that up with the magpie and I can put a hag into play. This hag is a little annoying for them. It's uncomfortable. I didn't have to. I could have kept it in my hand, so next turn I could have revealed it with the courtier. But I think the hag is a reasonable attack at this point. It seems fairly annoying. province to rectify the point situation, and another hag so I can reveal it with the courtier. The swamp hag also helps me avoid losing off a pile out of my own. Anything they buy is -1 victory point, so that is not nothing when the scores are 6-1. Luckily, I have a copper in my hand here. I don't know how that happened, but we'll take it. Double courtier is the play here for DVD, but remember we saw that masquerade pile last time? I just have to find back my engineer and some money, and we should be able to get that pile empty. We already have a comfortable points lead from the province last turn, and maybe even just the swamp hag would have been enough. So we do manage to go through the deck, even though these magpies miss a lot. And we get all the money we need and the engineer that we need for the masquerade pile out. So we take game 3. Just have to check to make sure that the pile out works here. We take game 3. I think critically I drew well in the beginning to get those wolves early, and we recognized that we had 4 towns. We couldn't play a long game, so we had to play short, and short we played. Alright, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.